Hi, this is Nick here at Only Fabs, and this is another Crazy Predictions video. So, Tales of Aria is coming out. There's not really any number crunching to do just yet, but I got 3 topics for this video. That's my prediction that 3 heroes will result with 1 talent, why this will be a cube builder's delight, and I've got something to say about 3 fables and 6 legendaries. So, why will there be 1 talent? Of course, this is just me wish thinking or extrapolating weird stuff in my brain, but I think I have some solid argumenting for it. So, it's hinted at being the top limited set for drafting by the developers. So, this has been said numerous times by James White himself, and good generics are important to have a good variation or at least a consistent deck building process during limited. 1 talent helps this, of course, because then the pool of generics is actually quite large without them actually pumping in a large amount of generic cards for each and every class. If it's a light card, it can be played by the shadow classes or any profession talent heroes. So this allows them to, and this has been consistent throughout the design of Flesh and Blood, that they don't want to overload other classes with available cards, and they also told it will be non-rotating except for the Living Legends Satan, and that will only remove the specializations for that hero, for that specific hero. So this is my prediction: 3 heroes will result in 1 talent. Of course, it will be Elementalist. Very curious if it will be arcane damage or if they've another damage type. If there is another damage type introduced to the game, I don't know if I'd like it or if I'd be against it, but at least then the 11 equipment slots in Blitz will be more competed about. But I think Classic Construction will get really tight deck lists. Actually, I've been doing some deck constructed, and you can view my how to build videos. And those slots, they fill up really fast, really quickly. So that was that part. Another topic that I want to discuss is why will this be a cube builder's delight? So okay, 3 heroes instead of 4. Of course, we will learn a lot about how the hero balance makes for a different limited experience. Maybe this is known by everybody. I don't know if I've even said it, but I do own a vintage Magic Cube, which I've curated and designed completely by myself. The hypogeometric calculation was one of the last things that I did with my cube, and it made for an amazing environment, which had a lot of draftable decks. And I'm really curious how this will shake everything up, because I had a framework in mind how you could do this cube building in Flesh and Blood, where you have to have multiples of a set legend. We'll work with 4 heroes, and 2 of them have to be closely related to each other, so that the generic pool will be, that's what I said in a previous topic as well, it needs to have a certain overlap. You need to have a critical mass of certain card types for it to be effective. So if you have 2 go tall heroes and 2 go wide heroes, you have this generic overlaps with tons of cheap go again cards and these tons of let me buff this one attack to 1 bazillion and swing with that one. Dominate or intimidate could be useful effects to that. So changing this 50-50 split to a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Well, it will, again, I stated it here, 1 talent will make for better generics. I'm really curious how this will pan out, and if this will be the turning point, because the card pool currently is too small to start cube building. But at one point I will build a Flesh and Blood cube, and I will curate it to be one of the coolest things to do with buddies of mine. And for myself, even, how would a triple warrior or a triple ninja cube look like? So Benji, Aria, and Katsu. Of course, Aria's a bit busted, but who knows? If you can balance them out, I think it will be amazing. So with that regard, Tales of Aria, it will be a cube builder's delight, because we will have tons of lessons that we will learn from a large swath of players without doing a ton of testing and variations yourself from a set. Last topic we want to discuss: one fabled, 6 legendaries, one talent fable, still with me, right? And 3 class and 3 generics. Of course you can say, well, of course it's going to be 3 talents, because then you got 3 class and 3 talent legendaries. But humor me, and if it was such a great environment, then it's going to be 1 talent. It's a crazy prediction videos, right? For these generics, for these class legendaries, I would really like to see, because Ranger we know you're currently, I would really like to see gloves for the Ranger, legendary gloves, or boots. Because of boots being the time snap potion, the bolters, the go mages, snapdragons, they're the action point slot, and gloves they are the damage slot. So buffing one attack, or having ways like Bravefoot bases to buff the next attack to give rangers some more depth, or if it's like adding a damage type like arcane damage, will give the OG ranger some more breadth and depth and build variations. Because I don't know about you, but it was one of the heroes that I looked at and I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. But this was before we actually deep dived in the game, and we had this amazing knowledge of how Flesh and Blood should be played. And it was like, I don't block, and I'll just swing my hand at my opponent, and at one point I need to block, and this is where Azalia shine, because of the inherent dominate ability. So for me, I would really like to see braces that would add damage, especially a damage type, arcane damage, or just buff arrows above it. And I would hate for it to be another headpiece, because I think the crossbone bone wraps, the arcane legendary or the ranger legendary headpiece is an amazing piece, and the fact that it has this built-in draw of up, you can see more cards from your deck. I love that. I love seeing more cards, deck manipulation types of legendaries. Well, not so much legendaries, but equipment in general, just because it makes for more consistent play. So, you know what? Another crazy prediction will be Wizard, and the final slot won't be Guardian, it will be Warrior, because that's the classic D&D party trope. So you have a Wizard, a Ranger, and the Warrior. Well, the Wizard could be a Bard. I think if it will be a new class, a Bard is one that is highly likely. And I'm just rambling, and I want to wrap up this video. So be gracious in defeat and humble in victory. Be a nice opponent in general. That will make for a better experience for yourself and for your opponent. If you speak Dutch and want to play online or offline, do leave a comment or visit blitz.nl. We have a small community, actually 60 plus players in the meantime, and we try to do tons of playing, and actually we have some amazing card shops that host a plethora of online events. I'm curious how it will develop in the future once this COVID bullshit is past us, but for now I think it's a great way to actually do some testing. Well, that was it for the crazy predictions. Not so crazy this time. I will do some other crazy predictions, but that one, the talent one, I'm pretty sure that's it. See you guys next time.